Flazoid thinks he's an expert in navigation, but he have never navigated in his whole life. And he thinks he's smarter than us, who he calls anti-flat earthers. Yesterday he did make a live broadcast with the title, let me read, "Why are anti-flat earthers so stupid?" So instead of watching that dumpster fire today, I've chosen an older video. Let's start. The video I choose to look at is called Mctoon's Fear for Triangles. It's about 10 days old, and it's a summary from a debate between Mctoon and Flazoid FE. And this is Flazoid's, what do you call it, defense for being crushed by Mctoon. So, let's start this dumpster fire.
Can I bring up some of those
so that
citations
you
for you?
Sure. Cherry pick.
Cherry
away.
pick. It's not cherry picking. It's just simply.
Oh, you're totally gonna cherry pick. We all know it.
Yes, let's see if Flazoid is cherry picking.
We all know you're gonna cherry pick. But go ahead.
Okay, let me just pick up some of them quickly. Open them for you. There's no cherry picking, but okay. Because you clearly say there's no trigonomic function for celestial navigation, correct?
No, I said there's no triangles. So
What
try to keep it correct. There's no triangles in
So what's trigonometry?
Trigonometry is more than just triangles.
What's trigonometry?
You don't know that?
What's trigonometry?
What is trigonometry? You don't know it? Why are you trying to tell me what trigonometry is if you don't know what it is?
You're saying it's not triangles, so I want to know what's Sekatoa.
I said it's not just triangles.
Is Sekatoa triangle?
A great start. Flazoid proves that it's cherry pick. Toon says it's not only triangles, and then Flazoid shows some documents and cherry picks parts of the texts. I will fast forward over that part.
Can
you show the step-by-step process of celestial navigation using triangles? Go ahead.
Let's first start with a little bit of background about lines of position in general and what they mean. When we talk about a line of position, we're just talking about some place on the Earth that we know we are, or more specifically, where we were. Imagine a case in which you're floating out there in the ocean and you have a lighthouse on an island, and you want to help figure out where you are using that lighthouse.
A lighthouse is not a celestial object.
Celestially, a bearing is known as an azimuth.
Yes, it's azimuth, but it was a strange cut there in the video. Let's watch them sometimes more. Is it so that Flazoid didn't want us to see those parts that are cut out, or was it the original video?
So we'll come back to that later. But if I use my compass and I take a bearing of that lighthouse, I could then go onto the chart and draw a line kind of backwards from the lighthouse, and I know I'm somewhere on that line.
And there was one more strange cut. Let's look on that one in slow motion. And one more time. He's talking about terrestrial navigation to try to simplify and explain how to astronomical navigate.
And when we do celestial navigation, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for not the lighthouses on Earth, but the lighthouses in the sky. For terrestrial or land or water, Earth-based navigation.
Did you see that there was a cut in this part too? Let's look at that one once more.
Sky.
That was the third cut in this short video.
Would be using geometry to help figure something out. Because if you knew the height of this light, and they're always listed on the chart, and you had some tool to help you measure the angle between the bottom and the top of that light, you could create a little triangle here.
Of course you can use a sextant, but this have nothing to do with your claims that sextants only can be used for astronomical navigation on a flat Earth.
And it's a right triangle. You could create a little triangle here, and it's a right triangle.
And in this short part of the video there are two cuts. Let's watch them again. So now we have 5 cuts.
It's a right angle, assuming the lighthouse is built straight, of course. So if you could measure this angle right here, call it maybe theta, that's like a mathematical angle.
And there in cut number 6. Let's look at that one also.
It's a right angle, assuming the lighthouse is built straight, of course. So if you could measure this angle right here, call it maybe theta, that's like a mathematical angle.
So 6 cuts in this short segment of a very good video, instructive, great explanations and so on. But which part is it that Flazoid don't want his followers to see? I'm convinced that these cuts are made by Flazoid, so I know you will see this Flazoid. Prove me wrong by giving me the link to the original video so I can watch if you did those cuts or not. Now let's watch the end of this presentation and then I will comment the content of the presentation.
And you knew this angle right here, and that means you can figure out this angle right here, and if you knew the height, then you can figure out your distance using that method. So we don't often do that in navigation because we've got radar and we've got charts and we've got compasses that give us lines of position which are easier. But this is a valid technique. And when you think about celestial navigation, we're not necessarily doing that. But the principle of triangles and angles and right angles and figuring out sides and everything is definitely helpful when it comes to a celestial site reduction process.
That was a good and correct summary, but I don't think Flazoid understood this part. Let's repeat the short part of this segment.
And when you think about celestial navigation, we're not necessarily doing that. But the principle of triangles and angles and right angles and figuring out sides and everything is definitely helpful when it comes to a celestial site reduction.
He showed the principle, and why did he choose this example with the lighthouse? The reason is simple. You don't have to take the curvature of Earth into account when you do this type of measurements. So he's simplifying to explain the basics about this type of navigation. His example is not so often used of several reasons. Some of them he mentioned, we have radar, we have GPS and so on. But if you don't have it, there are simpler ways to do it. If you see more than one landmark, lighthouse or something like that, you can use this method instead. In this example, I am on my way with my Moor ship to Dublin to show Brian's logic how you navigate in reality. First, I look at this lighthouse to the right and look at the compass and draw a line on the chart. And then I look at this lighthouse to the left and draw a line on the chart. And voila! Here's my position. I didn't have to do any calculations at all, and I didn't have to use the height of the lighthouse and so on. So this is much simpler, much quicker, and this is often how you do if you have to use landmarks to find your location. This also reveals a big problem for flat earthers when it comes to navigation, because the basis of navigation is not a sextant or a GPS. They give you your position, but with only the position you can't find your way. Without a chart and some kind of compass, you're lost. And the big problem for flat earthers is the fact that there are no flat earth charts. After watching this video, you must ask yourself, is Flazoid honest? Did he do these cuts? And if he did, why? Why is he trying to hide things from this video? The reason is simple. He's cherry picking. And I know that Flazoid will see this, so I will repeat this. Provide me the link to the original video to prove that you are not a liar who cherry picks to try to prove something that don't exist. And that's your claim that astronomical navigation is only working on a flat Earth. It is the opposite. You know nothing about navigation, and I'm willing to debate you on the subject, but that's if you first show me a real flat Earth map or a flat Earth chart that can be used for navigation. Then I will debate you on navigation. Good luck finding that chart. Once again, thank you for helping me, helping Ukraine. Today I ordered one more drone that will be sent at the end of this week. So, thank you very much everyone. Hope you liked this video. I think I proved that Flazoid is cherry picking. Anyone surprised? It wasn't the first time he did delete parts of videos that he tried to use as evidence. Have a nice day and see you soon. Bye.